Good morning. How are you? I'm fine. What is up, everybody? Good morning. Yes, it is Monday, February 19th, President's Day. And somebody somewhere, well, leave it up to the presidents. Go, we need a special day. So there you go. President's Day. I don't know how that'll affect freight, if anything. I don't know. I don't know if even the banks are open, whatever. So anyways, it doesn't matter. It's not important. What's important is I did something very, very unbeside myself. I did something that I thought I would never do. And it's something I haven't done since, well, high school. I was on the treadmill this morning. That's why I'm late. I was on the treadmill this morning. And I got into, just for a brief minute, I got into a jog. I know that blows you away. Blew me away. And there wasn't a bear behind me chasing me. There wasn't a tiger chasing me. I wasn't trying to outrun the other guy from the bear or the tiger or the chimpanzee. I was motivated with the momentum I had. It only lasted a minute, which, I hear that a lot. So, but that's what I did this morning. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And there you go. So that was my morning. That's why I'm late. That's why I'm 30 minutes late. I apologize. I know I've been trying to get up early. I was trying to be disciplined to get out of the house before 5:45, so I can leave the gym by 6:45. Well, 6:30, but I did some arm stuff today, which is why I was a little bit longer than I thought. So, but anyways, I'm here now. We're going to talk about a few things. There's a few things in the news. and I'm seeing Alfalfa's comment. And, yeah, so, I'm going to, I'm inspired, so let's see why won't let me do a screenshot? See, I'm trying to do a screenshot, but it's being dumb. Anyways, let's just do this here. We'll do it this way. Sorry, I'm so unprofessional. All right. But we'll look at some Lowboard stuff. I got a couple of trucks to dispatch this week. Finally, they're off of their vacation. Almost. Last week was a fairly light week, and so it was. Last week was more about self-improvement, trying to get things done for the tax stuff and all that stuff. So, a lot of emotion going on right now, as it's been that way for the last year with the rates and everything, and everybody's blaming the wrong thing. There's some controversy with the new federal law about contractors, and so if you guys missed it, a lot of people say, hey, you should go live on Saturday night, and so I finally did. And hardly anybody showed up. So, I still went live. And so if you want to see that replay, I talk about the federal law, AB 5 thing. It's in the members only, though. Or it's on the OG channel. You can go to OG channel for free and watch it there and give that channel some love. Let's see. Let's email this. And then we're going to talk about a book I'm reading right now. Actually, no, let's do I know, this is exciting, but you'll be all right. So, Anyways, let's do some shout outs, and then I'll show you this image that cracked me up, and then we'll do this here. So my name is Nobody. Good morning. How are you? You are the ultimate gray man with that avatar. Don Schonger, what's up? Good morning, everyone. Or good morning, says Don. Shannon says good morning, everyone, from Michigan, picking up Pickles. Is Pickles the clown, or is it Pickles a dog, or is it Pickles the cat? Isn't there like a satanic cartoon show about Pickles the dog or something like that? Are you picking that thing up? If so, you might want to be careful. Or are you actually picking up Pickles? So, Tolga, what's up? You capitalized it, so it makes it look like you're picking up a new pet. Randy, what's up? Good morning from Brilliant, Ohio. I doubt it's very brilliant. CDN, good morning. How was your vacation? Your working vacation? How are you? Shannon with some emoji stuff. Jose, good morning. Desert Okie Pam, good morning. Cheap Freight Hauler, good morning. What's happening in New York City? I will tell you. Good morning, Shannon. Did you have a live yesterday? Because I missed it if you did. I don't think she did. My name is Nobody. Watch those joints. Yeah, like I said, I only jog for a minute, and I'm watching the knees. CDN and I had a great conversation about when I started to work out. And he said it's form over function. Make sure you're not injuring yourself. Make sure that you're not going to pull anything and all that. So I got to be careful. There are exercises that I'm completely avoiding because it's bad on the joints and will blow your knees out. And I've had a blown out knee, and I've had a blown out ankle. So I have to be very careful. Alfalfa says a jog. OMG. Did you pull a hammy? No. It wasn't like a full on I got to get out of here type jog. It was like I don't want to look like, it was more like the old man speed walk, maybe. Maybe that's more accurate. The old man speed walk. I did the old man speed walk for about a minute and a half. And there might have been a person next to me with a concerned look. So I backed it down a little bit. So Shannon says, no, Don, the baby was squawking too much. That's what they do. That's what they do. Going to pick up my truck from the shop this morning. Have to pay them almost $500 to not fix anything. Feel like I'm getting ripped off. Well, the dealerships run our businesses. That's kind of how it is, right? So let's see. I'm actually picking up pickles. Why do you keep capitalizing it then? Are they important pickles? Notifications are not going out. How about that? Let's see. Turn this down. Probably because of the NYC thing in the title. So maybe I ought to change that. James G, what's up? Hello, Shannon. Real pickles. Smiley face with a pickle. There you go. All right, good deal. Those are heavy. Where are they going? Who are you going to bless with all them pickles? So New York City, let's talk about that for a minute. So apparently there's some controversy in the news is saying there's a group of truckers that are boycotting New York City because of some Trump stuff, right? And what's interesting is they're making it sound like there's a group of truckers that can actually agree to something wholeheartedly to boycott something. Now, I don't know about you, but boycotting going into New York City is a fairly easy thing to do. In fact, whole trucking companies have recruiting techniques that will say no forced dispatch, meaning that if they say, hey, I've got this load going to Long Island, and you go, no, thank you, sir, send me somewhere else, then they can't force you, or they won't force you. They can do whatever they want because they own the truck, right? But they won't force you to go because they recognize that a lot of drivers don't go into New York City anyways. And so I think that if that's truly a boycott, number one, where's the dark room where this was agreed to? Where's the Facebook page that this was agreed to? And what is it going to do? It's going to do nothing. All it is the press being able to villainize the truck drivers that need more regulations because them and Trump are the bad people. See, it's a news narrative that's supposed to rile you up. And that's all I got to say about that. It's like Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that. It's not important. Other than look at the intention and just whatever. Just whatever, man. If you got to go in, look, if someone's paying me 10 grand, I'm going into New York City. Okay? The ex-president can fight his own battles. You know what? There are 1,000 other reasons why people should avoid New York City. You know, I would say their politics, their 2A laws, their treatment of small businesses, you know, those kind of things. That's what you need to, you know, fight against. So. So, anyways, that's all I got to say about that. So there you go. That's what the title is about New York City. Louisville, Kentucky gets the pickles. Good for Louisville. I never acquired the taste for pickles, says Alfalfa. Pickles are best chopped up and mixed in your tuna fish sandwich. You can't eat sandwiches, Shannon. What are you talking about? Anyways, let's bring this image up because I want to. It's related to what I was just talking about. So let me get this up here, and then we'll talk about trucking stuff because that's why you're here, right? Isn't that why you're here? Let's see. All right. Oh, gotta do this here. All right. So sorry for the fuzzy image, but I couldn't get the computer to do the screenshot. So we're going to do it this way. It will let me save the image, but there you go. Something I want you to understand and learn and realize. And I've been very guilty of temporary madness. You know, that's why I was a death metal vocalist, because it got my aggression out. Because I was very angry. I was angry at my parents. I was angry at the world. I was angry at everything except for myself. I wasn't angry at myself, which is where I needed to focus on anger, because I'm the problem, not the world. So, and once you get that in your head, then you'll realize a few things. So, anyways, anger is temporary madness. The Stoics knew how to curb it. So, just an image for you to think about. And there you go. So, all right. I've been reading this really good book. Let me see if I can get it in the link here. I've been listening to it, not reading it. I do have the physical copy, though. Let me look here. It's called The Laws of Human Nature. And I'm going to put the link up. It's an affiliate link, so make sure you use it if you want this book, because it's awesome and I get a cut of it. It's awesome. Copy. I'll put it in the chat here. Check out that book, and I'll put it up on the screen here. And I'm in chapter 2. Chapter 1 was very eye-opening there. So let's click on that. That's what it's called, The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Now, he does have another one called the 48 Laws of Power. This one, I was told, 48 Laws of Power right there in the front, dude. I was told by the bookstore employee who probably knows what they're talking about. Who knows? It's Barnes & Noble, so we don't know. But anyways, he said that this was basically a compilation of all of his books, kind of rolled, like the best aspects rolled into one, with a little bit more siding with being empathetic towards human instead of, I need power, you know. So you can use the powers for good, or you can use powers for evil, whatever you can use it to recognize manipulation, and you can use it to learn how to be manipulative. And I think this book is trending more towards, learn how to recognize it, to protect yourself, and to do good for others. So anyways, check that book out. You'll love it. All right, so we're on the Lowboard stuff. Let's see. James says, I've been boycotting New York City since 1997. I've been boycotting Bud Light since 1989. Isn't that funny? That's funny. I like that. And again, there's the link. Make sure you click on that and go, man, that book looks good. The best pickles come from North Carolina. Why is that? Like, does it say that on their license plate? I mean, do they have special salt that they put in it? I mean, what makes them special? I mean, I'm not downing you, cheap freight hauler. I'm just wondering where that status comes from. Oh, by the way, we got our Death Wish coffee cup. Not that I have a death wish, but all right. Grind and Pray Snorelord in chat. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Well, we shall see if it's good morning. So far, it's good morning. I'm in a pretty good mood. Yesterday, I didn't get to work out, so I was kind of in a bad mood. But all right, load availability. Let's take a look at the magical map of red, yellow, and green. Fate Trucking. It's been 3 years since you've been in here. Good morning. All right, and Shannon and KB saying hi to each other. All right, let's take a look at Van. Actually, let's do Reefer first because Fate's in here. Hopefully he's paying attention. And we'll see where he can go. Let's take a look at Wisconsin. Don has the right idea. You say everyone's boycotting New York City. I'll get my tag and go there. Rates must be popping to go there. I think what the reality is that there's nobody boycotting more than normal. And this group of truckers that by some miracle, by some miraculous power of intervention, have all agreed to something, which that's folklore. That hasn't happened since 1978. And even then, they were divided, right? Because you had the Teamsters against the Independents, and they clashed in a great, glorious war with swords and Viking axes, at some point. And anyways, you should get a killer rate to go into New York City. Anyway, I know a driver he's in this chat, and he is going to be delivering in Long Island, and he got a pretty good penny for it. So he is not part of the boycott. So good on him. So Mount Olive pickles are my favorite. There's no studies or research behind my statements. Okay, well, I'll have to try that. I will try Mount Olive pickles based on your recommendation. Music City Transport, good morning. Shannon with the super chat. Thank you. Headbangers member for tears today. Look at that. $10.99. Thank you. Thank you very much. With the guitar and the explosions and all that stuff. So, all right, let's take a look at Reefer Freight. We got some loads picking up tomorrow. One going to PA, $291 a mile, $2,800. Let's see. Let's see if it pops up. All right. Picks up at 3:30 tomorrow, of course. Wonder what the product is. -5, so whatever it is, it's frozen. Cargo sheet's got it at 31, which is about where I would go a little bit higher to start. because it's PA, and you're looking at $160.70 in tolls, approximately. But it does cover your rate per day if you got a low rate per day. And there you go. So Stevens Point. So let's see. Let's take a look at this Shorty here. 825, $397 a mile. Going to Aurora, Illinois, 16,000 pounds. Picks up at 11 o'clock on Friday. Man, if that delivered Monday, this is a dumb load. Don't do it. So, especially if it's got to be kept cold for the whole weekend. So that's not a great load. Denton, Texas. I don't know what the backhaul is in Texas. I don't think it's very good still. So, but we'll take a look at this. I think I know the customer in this Denton, Texas. Imagine there's many times more immigrant drivers who don't care about American politics than there are drivers who actually agree to this boycott. Nothing will change other than the bad press. There you go. Mrs. A's got it spot on. I'm going to leave that comment up there for you guys so you can read it over and over and over and worship her awesomeness. I'm going to read it again. I imagine that there's many times more immigrant drivers who don't care about American politics than there are drivers who actually agree to this boycott. Nothing will change other than the bad press. So these things, when they try to do this, park the truck mentality, there are company drivers that can't afford to park the truck. There are owner-operators that can't afford to park the truck. And there are immigrants that are just going to do what they're told. That's why these boycotts or these park your truck moments will never work. Because you can't control everybody. All it's going to do is give you bad press. And so when a mother can't get her medication for her child because the truckers are having an issue, all she's going to do is blame the drivers. And that's the reality. And the news will put you under the bus quicker than you can say, I ain't going to New York City. Right? So just keep that in mind. There's been years and years of development of how the government has gained control over the trucking industry. And this is why. Because back in the 60s and 70s, yeah, that could be easily done, but not so much anymore. Because there's a lot of people driving trucks that's a poverty level job to them. That might be their only home. They can't afford. Their company is going to say, look, if you shut down for 2 days, you're fired. We got to keep that truck rolling. It's got a $10,000 turbo repair we got to pay for, or it's got a $4,000 truck note we got to pay for. So you got to keep moving. That's how it is, right? So, anyways, I'll get off my soapbox. Cool Trucking, what's up? Pigtail is in the house. And Shannon and my wife are talking, which is really cool. Shannon, cell came on twice in the last 2 weeks. Took it in. They can see the inactive code but can't recreate it. Warranty doesn't pay for diagnosis unless something gets fixed. Well, that's lame, but it's understandable. I have a business to run. I'm going to get that money. There you go. All right. So anyways, this is Denton, Texas. Let's see what the return rates are coming out of Denton. Not the best rate per day. Let's take a look at Denton to Anywhere. Let's see what those rates look like. Well, if you want to go to Florida, you do. But here they're trying to move a load for $1.66 a mile to go into New Hampshire out of Texas. So that's what you're going to deal with, right? And that's literally the highest paying thing on the board. So Texas people, I don't know. If you live in Texas, do your thing, but going into Texas is a bit of a gamble. I haven't sent a truck into Texas in quite a while. Now this Milwaukee Springfield, Ohio looks pretty cool. $312 a mile, $1,200. Picks up today, Triple T Transport. Let's see if it's an old posting or not. Picks up at 1 o'clock today. This is a 27-minute old posting. Let's see what the product is. 43.5. -10, so it's a frozen product. Cargo Chief's got it 1611. Either way, it's only 385 miles, so go get that money. And then Springfield, Ohio looks pretty good. How do we know? Because the backhaul is, look at that, 112 loads going from Springfield, Ohio to anywhere. 28 going right back to Milwaukee. So this would be a good load. Get them up a little bit on the rate, and you're good to go. And be probably fairly easy to find something back. So a lot of stuff going to the Northeast, Maryland, Connecticut, California. Let's take a look at this California load. $1.80 mile, South Carolina to Colorado. Holy crap! South is dead. Wow. That's a tough deal, man. That is cheap. But it was probably the highest paying thing though, right? Let's see. This is got no posted rate. Now, Rate Check's got it at 38.49. Cargo Chief's got it at 34, because they're driving these California rates down. But they can't drive them down for too long because there's nothing coming out of there. Here we go. This is another good load. Wisconsin to Neosho, Missouri. Let's see what this is. Maybe it's a dry load. Is this a dry load? Nope. No, van or reefer. Okay, so they're probably not going to come up too much on this rate. They're going to give you a van rate. Picks up tomorrow. But out of Neosho, you can pick up something out of the Carthage Caves or something out of Neosho. There's an egg farm, a couple of egg farms out in Neosho. You can pick up and take that to wherever you want. So let's look at the back haul. There's 4 going right back to Wisconsin, but there's 179 going anywhere. So that's a good spot. And it's going to be a decent rate. So enough for reefer. I doubt Fate is even still watching. All right, so let's go to van. He probably has better things to do. I know I do. So, all right. Chief Freight Hauler, take this for what it's worth, but mine, I monitor the fault code, and generally I wait for the code to stay for at least 1 day in the active status before going to mechanic. I agree, Shannon, but I'm not going to keep forking out $500 for him to look and do nothing. Fate, your best live ever over the weekend. Much respect. I missed it. You'll have to call me and give me the cliff notes. I do too. WCF, ELD was shown active and constant. At that rate, cheap freight hauler, buy yourself that code reader thingy. That's actually a good idea. It's actually a good idea. I started doing that after fault codes were clearing themselves after popping within the day. These trucks constantly are working to diagnose and fix the issue itself. One time I was delivering at a grocery receiver here in Springfield, and I was getting ready to book a load, and all of a sudden when I moved the truck, the mill light came on, and then the check engine light also came on with the wrench. And so I looked at the ELD to look at the codes, and sure enough, it was like something related to the turbo and actuator and all that. I was like, oh no, here it comes, right? So it had a couple other codes that I wasn't too aware of. So I took it down. So I dropped my trailer, took it down to Kenworth, and as I'm parking in the parking lot, the wrench light goes off. I looked the active codes, and they were like, the turbo one had disappeared, and so, but I wanted to make sure everything was good. So, it needed a PM anyway. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just do it this week instead of next week, kind of a deal. And I went in there, and they called me the next day and said, dude, you're fine. Those codes went away, and they haven't come back. We've ran it. We did a forced regen. Everything's fine. Of course they did a forced regen. That's what they charged me for. So, but anyways, other than that, when you go from like real cold to real warm, like in the same 24-hour period, that messes with the sensors as well. I know that. Shannon, I pulled the code from it and searched for it online in some PACCAR groups, but found nothing. David Edwards, you are lurking. Good morning. Good to see you. All right, so this is van. Let's take a look. Missouri's green. It was, I think, well, no, that was flatbed. That was red Friday. Let's see. We got a lot of stuff coming out of northern Missouri, which that makes sense because they got hit with the snowstorm a couple of days ago, so I imagine that's put freight behind. So if you're coming out of St. Louis area, Columbia, I think they had a pile up on 70 as well in central Missouri. So there's probably some good paying freight coming out of there. We got Perryville to Bloomfield, Connecticut. Let's take a look at that one. They're at $240 a mile, $2,800 for, let's see how many miles it is. Cargo Chief's got it at 3 and change, 30.98, so basically 3,100. 23,000 pounds, so you're good there. Let's see, what's the tolls on this? Only $15 of tolls. That's surprising. But then you got the Connecticut tax, too. I don't know what that amounts to because that happened after I sold my truck. They are pre-approved by Thunder. They got a 97 credit score. A B, 40 days to pay, 28 days to pay. So that days to pay is kind of varying. So I would buyer beware. You know, make sure that if you got a good, like, I know that if you don't factor, I know that DIY had a deal of a service he uses. That's pretty good. But it all depends. If you do factor, it all depends on what they say. You know, they could be green on one platform, but the factoring company may say, nah. So. Let's see. There's Chillicothe to Charlotte. These are light loads. I think I know what this is. Let me take a look here, see if it's van or reefer. Oh, no, this is, I'm on the van side. So what this is these are empty plastic cups for that macaroni and cheese that you microwave, that kind of stuff. That's what this is. I've done this load a few times, not to Charlotte, but to Springfield here. Nice light load, easy place to find, nice country drive that's not too bad. It's a good load. I love it. Let's see. I got quite a few of those. They tend to be drop trailer loads on the delivery side, so you got to be careful with that. Here's the other load I would do. Lebanon. Well, depending. This is Lebanon to Vandalia, Ohio. Now, if this is going to Chewy, I would make sure that you got a good detention policy in place because Chewy, last time I was there, last 2 times I was there, it was like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Which is strange because the Chewy in Kansas City is not bad at all. But if it's P&G or one of the other, there's a whole industrial complex down there. This might be a P&G to, it might be a container thing or a pallet thing to P&G. You never know. But I would definitely, it's 16,000 pounds. So it may not be pet food, but I would definitely ask who the receiving customer is on this one. And that's a good load. I would do that load. Picks up Wednesday the 21st. So, and then of course Ohio, you're gonna be able to go wherever you want. This Joplin to Hartford, Wisconsin. This is another good load. Let's take a look at this. Picks up at 1 on Friday. Well, hold on. Delivers Monday, 675 miles. Now, if you need a restart, this would be a good one to pick up. Depending on what time it picked or delivered on Monday, but then it puts you in a good area for Monday. So you complete this load, get a restart in, and then your fresh hours for Monday morning. Animal food products. So you got to make sure that it's not, check the weather, make sure it's not freeze protect and all that stuff. Come on, I don't have to tell you guys this. So T-Bone says, good morning, all. Somebody got her new DIY semi shirt and coffee mug. Cool. I'm sure he'll be showing it off. T-Bone, you late, she said in a gangster voice. All right, so let's take a look at some other states here. Let's take a look at Pennsylvania. Why the heck would I take a van load out of Pennsylvania? Well, because there's good paying loads going in. So let's take a look at what's coming out, so you can make an educated decision. Someone's leaving. See, isn't the blinder thing's great? You didn't even know. I didn't even know. All right, so Niagara Falls, New York. So I must have clicked on the wrong thing. I thought I clicked on Pennsylvania. PA to anywhere. Okay, so don't know why Niagara Falls is on there. Oh, because it's going to Niagara Falls. Never mind. I'm slow today. Oh, look at this. Carlisle to Brewster, New York. So if they're paying $482 a mile, $1,200 for 12,000 pounds going. Oh, well, there's extra stops here. So that's probably part of it. So I would definitely, that's why it's paying so well for 250 miles. So I would probably take a look. Now, part of this federal AB5 thing is that one of the solutions people are saying is that you're going to have to get your own authority. And this is something I mentioned Saturday night in my members only feed there. So let's say that happens and everybody has to get their own alert. Let's say all 20, 25 drivers, whatever we got now at Like Trucking, have to get their own authority. Well, number one, the insurance companies are going to make bank, right? Right? Number two, that's going to be difficult. What's going to happen is maybe a third of the drivers will be able to get their own authority or even want to get their own authority. And then all of a sudden you got a shortage of trucks. Well, what happens is if there's a shortage of trucks, rates go up. And the companies that have figured out the loopholes and the strengths and the weaknesses of the laws, they will prevail. And maybe that's the dynamic change that's coming. Who knows? All I know is that it has potential to change the landscape. So just keep an eye on it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then just keep doing what you're doing. So, anyways, Carlisle to Brewster, New York. It does not go over the bridge, but it is pretty in that area between Newark and New York City. So just be aware. It'd be interesting to see what those other stops are and how long it takes to do them. So that 1,200 may not be so good if it takes you 4 days to do it. I can't imagine a load like that taking 4 days, but you never know. All it takes is one bad appointment, one bad issue, and then you're screwed. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, $209 to go to Florida, $1.72 to go from PA to Gas City, Indiana. So this is a Shorty, I think. Let me look here. Picks up at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Cost per day reach, no, because it's a full day for 553 miles. Yeah, this ain't a good load. Palletized beverages, so you got to watch your freeze protect on that. And if it's beer, then you definitely have to make sure you got the permits and everything. Obviously, there's a shipper out of Aspers that are paying about $1.72, $1.73, regardless of where it's going. Or they're doing the multiple city in Kentucky thing going on. Altoona to Little Rock. Little Rock is green on the map. Let's see what the rates coming out of Little Rock are. That's kind of a longer trek, so you're going to make less per mile. So let's look at the rate per day on this one. Picks up today. Doesn't deliver till Friday for 1,000 miles. Is that right? Wow. Yeah, this is a crappy load. Oh, wait. Going to Little Rock, then back round trip. Oh, okay. 44,000 pounds down, 74 back up. So this must be like, okay, palletized ingots. So it's going to be heavy. And then you're probably bringing pallets back up or something like that. So there isn't a posted rate on this. So you would want to price this accordingly, knowing that this is a round trip and knowing that your fuel mileage is going to suck and your tolls are. There is no toll cost. So there you go. But your fuel costs are going to go up. So just keep that in mind, especially on the beginning part of the trip. So it's just on how you what are you willing to do, right? What are you willing to do? So it's exciting, I must say. I'm booked out a week and a half again, staying ahead. Yes, you're really good at that. Shannon, it might be a good call. At least here in Missouri, the last-minute game for the past month has been very risky. Snorelord and I got burned on it last Thursday. I always get burned on my own truck or anybody else's truck if I'm trying to do short haul on Thursday. And it's usually because that's what the driver wanted. So when I know that they're going to land somewhere in Missouri on Thursday and they want to stay in Missouri or stay within a 300-mile radius, I know that that's going to be a huge challenge because even for my own truck, it was always a challenge to do that. Unless I book out. And even when I book out, it was even difficult. So oh, Chief Freight Hauler says, that's awesome, Shane. I'm going to be beating the board once I get my truck this morning, which all the good loads will be gone. Just scrappy leftovers remain. You know, it's funny you mentioned that, Chief Freight Hauler. What I've noticed is that the sweet time has been from 8 to about noon, maybe 1 o'clock for a truck that dropped off, right? But here lately, if I don't have a truck booked by 10 or 11, man, it's a wrap for the rest of the day pretty much. I'm staring at Lowboards refreshing, and it's just not good. But then, like, sure enough, 7:30, first thing in the morning, boom, there's a load, perfect, book it. You know, so when things aren't in a hurry to move, they're going to wait till the last minute. Unless it's a Walmart or Dollar General or something like that. And mind you, that's the quote-unquote shipper. That's the customer that the broker's talking to is the Walmart, the Dollar General. Now, I noticed that Dollar General, actually, all the big stores are shipping charcoal right now. So West Plains has woken up. Rolla has woken up. I haven't seen anything out of Branson yet. But that's all Royal Oak charcoal. And they go to various Walmart and Dollar General DCs. And Costco, those are the ones I really look for because I know Costco's got their act together on their end. I've never had a Costco load go bad, ever. I love Costco loads. In fact, I love Costco so much I became a member. So, so if you know your area, you know what's coming up. And I'm sure Don's looking at all the charcoal loads and all that. So, you know, just be aware. But, yeah, Thursdays are kind of a crap show. That's just kind of the nature of St. Louis, not as much, but at least in Kansas City, Springfield, Southwest Missouri areas, it can be. Roamland Trucking, or Roamland Services, I'm sorry. Good morning. Let's see. Down here, it's been 8 to 10. Then I might find one around the 1 to 2. Yes, that sounds legit. I agree. You're on it. So, whoops. All right. So, we've determined that rates kind of suck coming out of PA. Here's one. Let's take a look at this Brenningsville to Chantilly, Virginia. It is 44,000 if that weight is accurate. Picks up tomorrow. 190 miles for $700. So your rate per mile is pretty good. It's a Shorty. Rate per day is actually okay, but it gets you out. And then let's see what looks like coming out. You're going to be going through D.C., so there's that, or around D.C. No tolls. Does meet the cost per day. And look at how many loads are coming out of Virginia. Chantilly, Virginia, anywhere, 597 loads. So I would do this. This would be the load I would choose. There's no tolls. Yeah, fuel's going to suck because of the weight, if that's legit 44. And this is your short hop to get out of Pennsylvania. This is what I would do. So And Branningsville is fairly easy to get out of as far as like, you're not going cutting through the woods or anything like that. So just this would be the one I would do. I'd probably get him up a little bit. I mean, I would try, and then we'd settle on something and then we go. But this picks up tomorrow, delivers hopefully the next day. If not, it could be a straight through. If it's a straight through, then that's a win-win. But there you go. So that would be the load I would choose out of Pennsylvania if they answer the phone, if we can work with them. I've been hearing this a lot. Yeah, we're not set up with you, so the customer won't let us use you. And we've already done the carrier packet. Some agents were doing carrier packets almost every single time we do a load. And that's what Swift used to do back in the day when I first started. Is Jeff had to do a carrier packet every single time someone booked a Swift load. So guess what? Everybody stopped booking Swift loads. Let's see. Now, if you want to go to a really good area, you got Allentown, Oswego, Illinois. Picks up tomorrow, also 44,000 pounds. Crappy rate per mile, but let's look at the rate per day. Cost per day per reach, no. 765 miles. They're right about where Cargo Chief's at, so they need to move this. But you're looking at, if it picks up Wednesday, delivers Friday, or, 20th is Tuesday, so picks up on Thursday, do a Shorty to Ohio on Friday, and then land in Ohio, and then do a big longer load for the weekend. That would be a good path if you're stuck in PA right now, or delivering tomorrow in PA. So, that's just, it takes time and patience to kind of learn all this stuff. A lot of stuff for today and tomorrow. Not a whole lot of, when I see a whole lot of stuff that's for like a month or two down the road, then that's when I know that freight's low in the area. And evidence of that is when you go to a place like, let's do Oklahoma here since it's red. And let's sort this by pickup date. And we'll make it descending. Yeah, they got stuff all the way up to March 8th. Actually, not too bad. This Tulsa to Indy, we'll take a look at this. This is going to be Pepsi to Pepsi. I've done this run. And there's 2 warehouses in Indianapolis. One is really good at unloading you, and another one is not in a timely manner. So the problem is I haven't been able to get a Pepsi logistics person on the phone or even in a web chat for, months now. I try every now and then, but I think they post a load and forget that it's even there. So, but anyways, that's kind of what we're doing. Let's look at flatbed. Don't want to disregard you chainers and strappers and tarpers. I've hauled a load at Kingsport out of Missouri before. Yeah, Branson's the toughest one because, man, that truck is doing some work getting out of that because it's literally in this valley in the middle of Branson. You got to know your way in there because there's definitely some roads you don't want to be in Branson in a big truck. And then US 65 is a bit of a bear when you're heavy. If you're going north on 65, you finally get out of the hills when you get to about Ozark, Missouri. Then you get on 44 or wherever. But if you're going south towards Arkansas, then you've got US 65 in Arkansas is not the funnest to do so in a truck. I mean, it's not like goat paths or anything like that. And it's gotten better over the years because they've added the 3rd lane and all that stuff. But it's definitely a workout. So $1,500 from Tampa to Salina, Kansas. You got to love Florida. Yeah, and Salina, Kansas is not even that great to get out of for a van, Jose. Now, I put this as the thumbnail on Friday for a reason. This is what flatbed and step deck is looking like. Missouri turned yellow instead of red, so there's that. But beyond that, man, you don't want to go west of 35 there. Hell, you don't even want to go west of 57. And so that means that everybody's fighting. So I imagine capacity is probably all jacked up. So let's take a look at something here, speaking of which. Let's go to DAT trend lines real quick. Oh, 48065 if you want to check out the 123 Lowboard. That's my code. You get 30 days free. And so don't take my word for it. You can look at the loads yourself and go, man, Steve was right. Or you can go, Steve was horribly wrong. I don't even know why he's doing that. So either way, doesn't matter much to me. Let's look at DAT trend lines if it'll pop up here. So let's get this up. And then we'll call it a wrap soon. US 65 is the hardest Tabitha has ever worked. Dang mountains. That's true. I'm loading up my RGM for Rapid City, South Dakota right now. Not a reload for 400 miles, cents per mile. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. All right, so here's some good news. Check this out. So this timeline is from the January 29th to February 4th week to February 5th to February 11th. Spot load posts are down 18%. But for the month, they were up 49%. And that's interesting, right? Vanload the truck went down, though, 30%. And for the month, it went up 39%. So, like, from December to January, things definitely woke up a little bit. And I noticed that in the load counts on both load boards that I use. But look at flatbed. Flatbed spot rates have remained unchanged. They went up for the month, but then they were down 10% for the year. And it's these year marks that you really kind of pay attention to. Fuel prices are down 15% over the year, which I think are they still going up? I haven't paid attention to that. Reefer load the truck went down 14%. Flatbed load the truck went down 33%. So for the year. So you people thinking you're going to jump into flatbed, you can't run from these problems. You can change platforms, but eventually if there's a slowdown in the entire industry, it's going to affect you, whether you're running tanker, flatbed, whatever. I believe Nomadic Brit has talked about his freight has gone down a little bit, so it's slowed down. And then Greg, he's doing the tanker freight, and he's talking about the same thing. So these are the numbers that matter right here. And the short-term numbers, these month numbers, I pay attention to them, but they could be misleading. But these are, again, this is not any kind of Bible or anything. I just kind of notice these trends before I can read them on paper or read them on a website, and I notice that. So, and of course, you scroll down. Take a look at this. November 208. December 211, January 214. That's that Christmas rush, right? And then boom, right back down to 209 in February. And so when you look at, now that number is not important in the sense that that's what you should be getting at all times. No, that's not what we're saying here. What I am saying there is you look at the trend and what drives prices down that sharply in just a month. What drives that? It's supply and demand. and the brokers just aren't all that coordinated. They just know that they've got their finger on the pulse with supply and demand through AI pricing, through computer analytics, and it's all connected, right? So if you look at reefer, it's actually progressing up, but look at flatbed. Or no, actually, no, I'm sorry. Reefer is trending down. Look at flatbed. Seems to be trending up on the pay per mile. But that could change because of volumes. So, but yeah, this seems to be normal. This is what I see a lot. So, current national diesel fuel average is 4.11 per gallon, and it's gone up 5%, 5.1%. So just kind of keep an eye on things. Oh, one thing we did not do, we did not look at the weather alerts. See what you guys are driving into here. Pretty quiet, unless you're in California. So let me share the screen here. California's all jacked up, so as usual. So I don't know what that light green is. Flood warning. So a lot of rain, and you got some winter storms going on in the mountains here. And what's going on in Nevada there? Wind advisory. So if you're light, you're probably white knuckling. And then, of course, Utah's doing its thing up here. Other than that, the rest of the country is quiet. What's this light blue? Freeze watch up there in northern Florida. So then a little bit of wind going up in northern Atlanta, or northern Georgia. I'm sorry. So anyways, but other than that, pretty quiet. Little spot in Mississippi dealing with flood, but then Maine's up here doing something stupid, but with the tippy tip. Let's see what that is. Special weather statement. So probably nothing too urgent. Shall we all forget about market averages for a week or more? Remember when rates were good, every low was double the spot market average? Put a blinder on and use your numbers to negotiate. I believe that to be true. Oh, you ordered the book? Thank you, Patrick. It's a really... Sorry, that was like, it took a 180 from what we were talking about. But yeah, thank you it's a really good book. It not only helps you understand what other people are dealing with, but it also understands your own emotions and understand your own human nature. If you've ever done something and you felt out of control, this kind of like helps you analyze why that might have happened, right? So right. So you take, Shannon agrees with CDN. So you take someone like Shannon. She gets her number and she books ahead. Because frankly, trying to keep an eye on trends and trying to maximize, like, these people that use the sonar to, get the most out of their truck, that's great. But you're literally at the mercy of the market and you might be chasing, like, let's say there's a load that's 2,000 miles. By the time you get to the receiver, that market might take a dump, So you just gotta, like what CDN said, put blinders on and just go. And the drivers that do that allow me to do that for them, they make money. And that's pretty much the goal. Now, you don't want to bounce around Florida all the time and hope that rates come up. But we have people that do Georgia and Florida back. That's all they do. They have blinders on. They're not paying attention to trends. They're not paying attention to average rate per mile. When they know that the trends are downward, that's when they struggle a little bit more on calling more brokers and volumes and all that. And that's pretty much what I've done. It's like, oh, well, no wonder I'm having trouble getting out of such and such state, because these trend lines are saying that volumes are down, but I recognize that before I even look at those websites. That's having your finger on the pulse of and then consistency. So, Shannon's talking about consistency here. So if you're doing multi-stop loads, you're not paying attention to trends. And, just knowing your numbers and, it's redundant. I'm tired of talking about it. Just run your business. You know what I mean? It's like if you have a lot of limitations, man, you're going to struggle a little bit more. If you don't know how to talk to people, you're going to struggle a little bit more. So just keep that in mind. If you hate dealing with brokers, and if you think they're taking too much money, then why are you dealing with brokers then? I mean, if I went into a convenience store and they're charging $5 for a cup of coffee, meanwhile the store next door is charging only $1, I mean, I don't even have to buy coffee if I don't want to. Now, if that was my only way of getting coffee, I'm gonna go the cheaper route. I'm not gonna give the guy the business that's trying to. Maybe his costs are a lot higher because he's got better coffee. Or maybe the government told me he needed to pay someone $20 an hour, minimum wage. Who knows? But if I don't want to pay for coffee, then I don't. I start making it in my truck, that kind of thing. So. Jose, never be shocked by outbound Florida rates. You make the money going in, $1 a mile outbound. Research the lane. It's never a shock what rates are. Jose lives in Florida, so he's definitely well aware. I think it's interesting that it was a lower rate to go to Salina, Kansas, which isn't a great area to get out of. So, but maybe volumes in Salina are that way, and that's why it was a little bit lower than what normally happens. So, anyways, that's it. We're done. So strength for today, hope for tomorrow. We'll see you on Wednesday, hopefully. I'm going to try to get this on by 7, but I don't have much hope. So it'd be closer between 7 and 7:30. But anyways, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. All the info is in that scrolling little thing and also in the description. And then I will put the link to the book that I'm talking about real quick if you want to click on that and check it out. It's an affiliate link, so don't be all YouTube, right? So, but other than that, keep on keeping on and be safe. So with that being said, strength for today, over tomorrow. Peace.